Look, let's face it, right? Alcohol and prescription drugs, they're very easy to get to. They're all too common in social settings. But when does it jump from friendly fun to full-blown addiction? And when it becomes a problem for a friend or a loved one, should you jump in? We've been talking about this all morning. Celebrity life coach Dr. Patrick Wanos joins us again to talk more about this. So, yes, this morning, certainly we've covered the addict and the person who needs the intervention. But let's talk about you, the family member, the loved one that lives with that person. How do you keep yourself from going crazy? Because it's probably hard to be in a situation when you live with someone going through that.
Well, of course it's going to be very difficult, and you have to make a decision for yourself when you can no longer be in control of yourself. That means when the other person's problem is now overpowering and overwhelming your life, you then have to take drastic action, meaning you might sit down with a person that has a problem, a boyfriend, girlfriend, partner, and you say, this is the problem that I see, this is how it's affecting us. You issue the ultimatum, that person says no and continues to do what they do. That you have to know when is the time that I have to actually extricate myself from this relationship.
What do you do before you get to that point? Do you suggest therapy? Is therapy something that an addict or someone with this type of behavior would even be willing to try?
You have to understand that, the reason a person becomes addicted is because they're in denial. They're either trying to escape something or they're trying to feel something. Ultimately, they don't want to face whatever the deep inner pain is. They don't want to face the truth or some sort of pain. So they're going to be in denial. They're not going to say, yes, I have a problem. Yes, I'm an addict. The other person has to be able to sit down with them and say, okay, here's what I see. Here's what you're experiencing. Here's how it's affecting us. When it gets to the point that you can no longer handle what the other person's doing, that's when you have to put yourself first and walk away.
I'm looking at a brochure from Al-Anon here. And Al-Anon deals with families, friends and loved ones of addicts. And they're talking about things that you should do, in other words, not to cover up for anyone's mistakes, not to create a crisis. So it seems like you almost want to give love, but tough love, right? I mean, not 100% it's going to be okay. You need to be tough sometimes.
Well, you need to be more than tough. You need to be firm. You need to be strong. You need to stick to your plan once you've made the plan. And I think in an upcoming segment, we're going to talk about the actual approach. But yes, it's very, very true that tough love is the key here. You do not want to be in any way enabling them. You don't want to keep giving them money or giving them the opportunity or handing them the pill, even if you see them freaking out. You do need to have professional help, and that's when you have professional intervention, meaning that you turn to someone who knows a little bit more about the entire problem and can guide you and advise you.
It's certainly a difficult process to have to go through, and I'm sure if you've gone through it, you probably know how frustrating and hard it can be.
But can I say this thing very quickly?
Sure.
Do not be selfish by being afraid to approach the other person because you think there's going to be conflict, confrontation, or our friendship's going to end, or that person's going to disapprove of me or not like me. If you really care about the person who's a friend or you're in some sort of relationship with, you must take action.
It'll get tough before it gets easier, hopefully.
Yes.
Okay, Patrick's going to be here all morning. In fact, next time we talk to you, we're going to talk about the actual practical steps of intervening, of trying to help somebody, what you can do. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And if you have any questions for Patrick about this, maybe a situation in your life, you call us, 877-50-50-735, or text us 23539, or send us an email, feedback@southflorida.com. You can also get us on Facebook and get us on Twitter. And like I've been saying, if you have a loved one caught in the spiral of addiction and you don't know how to handle it, also, you might want to consider a local Al-Anon meeting. The 12-step group focuses on helping those who suffer from the effects of the addicts around them. You can check out their local website at southflorida-alanon.com.